when we're approaching our careers in the traditional ladder, like I have to prove myself to get to that next rung of the ladder, and I have to bow down to this boss who I don't even like, and I have to just basically do whatever I'm told. The challenge is that we don't like that lifestyle. We're not actually living in our ultimate power, in our God-given power, in what we were born to create and born to do in this world. Welcome to Executive Coaching in the AI Era, the place where you get real, no fluff, proven processes for navigating the chaotic, ever-changing corporate world. I'm Stacy Mayer, executive coach, promotion strategist, and best-selling author. For the past decade, I've been helping senior leaders like you make the intangible process of getting to the leadership table tangible, even during layoffs, economic downturns, and AI disruption. Let's go. Hello, corporate badasses. Welcome to another episode of Executive Coaching in the AI Era. I am your host, Stacy Mayer, and super excited, as always, to be here with you again this week. We've been talking a lot about AI and the advancements in technology, and also the fears and confusion that may cause for a lot of corporate leaders trying to navigate the corporate landscape and all of the changes that are happening so rapidly around us. And there has been a theme coming up inside of my Leadership Table Mastermind, and it is a weird one to kind of talk about because it doesn't have, technically speaking, anything to do with AI. It has to do with humanity and the fragility of our human nature. So what has been going on is within the span of a very short amount of time, a couple of my clients have actually been diagnosed with cancer. As part of this diagnosis, things happened prior to this. So one of the women was laid off, and then she was trying to navigate her, I kind of call it like a trifecta lifestyle, which is that you're going to look for another opportunity. You're going to figure out, okay, what are those thought leadership qualities and things that I want to do? Like I have some clients that are writing a book and starting to post more on LinkedIn, give more talks, etc., mentor other women, so on and so on. And then the third piece is starting to do fractional or consulting work in the meantime. So this is what a lot of my clients have been doing, is this 3-part trifecta of building their career that isn't so linear as a corporate ladder, but is instead a very zigzagged approach to having what I think true success in their career. And so then as part of this layoff, she was diagnosed with cancer, and it's a pretty awful thing to have happened. But there is this feeling that the timing is perfect, right? Everything happens for a reason. And not only was she able to find space to heal, she's currently still in the healing process, but she also was able to discover the cancer as a result of being unemployed, essentially, because you have that space and you notice things a little bit differently rather than when you're very stressed out and go, 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 go. The other thing was another client who was interviewing for a chief nursing officer role, and she had been interviewing for 2 dual roles at different hospitals, and she did not receive an offer. And then she let me know just a couple of weeks ago that she was also diagnosed with cancer as well. And now she's going to be going through her own healing journey. The first thing she said was that she was grateful that she did not receive one of these opportunities because she wouldn't have had the space to be able to deal with and the freedom to deal with her own personal healing journey. And then I have another client who literally emailed me this week that her husband has leukemia, and now she is helping him through his chemo process and helping him heal. And she's also super grateful that she has that space and that time to be with her husband and to help him through this healing journey. Why am I sharing this with you this week? Well, one thing it got me thinking about is my son has been doing AI photos, like on Nano Banana. It's like pops up on my phone, and then he can tell it some commands pretty easily, and it'll like auto commands how to make a AI photo for him. And my husband commented like, wow, we have the most intelligent use of technology that we've ever had in our personal lifetimes. And we're using it to make funny photos for people. And this is always the case, right? And when you look at like the things that frustrate people, fake news, AI slop, things like that are happening, and it can get very overwhelming and frustrating. But then there's the other side, which are all of the advancements that this technology is providing for us. Organizations are providing huge advancements, specifically in healthcare. And I was thinking about in today's episode, just highlighting two things. One is, at the end of the day, for me personally, if I have to put up with a bunch of AI slop so that we finally get the cure for cancer, because that is one of the things that's being promised and that is currently unfolding. And I have some of my clients are actually working at organizations where they are part of this drug discovery. They're working in fields like oncology, understanding and using AI technology to figure out literally the next cure for cancer. And if AI gives us that cure for cancer, I will put up with all the freaking AI slop I need to. Honestly, I don't care if it's fake news or not, right? Because I can differentiate. And I think one of the things that AI is also giving us is the ability to kind of go pre-internet times, pre-social media times, and really connect with people. And we might even see ourselves going into trusted sources that where we get our news and our information from. I mean, we were already at a huge crisis even before AI came onto the scene of fake news, and really needing to differentiate between what is out there and what's true and what's false and what's just being programmed to us. I mean, we've had this problem for the past decade. And now I think because of artificial intelligence, we are going to rely more on our trusted, vetted sources. And if we can continue to use that technology to bring advancements to healthcare, then amazing, right? Like this is where the technology really, really matters. Now I want to think about your own personal leadership journey. And I was thinking about these women as they're navigating these times of beauty and strength, and also trust that the universe literally has their back. Like the universe, God, whatever that might be, has given them this opportunity of time and space to work through their healing journey. And here's what I think, and here's what I really, really believe, is that we can have both at the same time. And they don't always happen that same day. Like if you wake up and you have a chemo treatment and you're unable to really function in any capacity whatsoever, maybe that's not the day that you are creating, quote unquote, power and influence for your career. But what you can do is you can trust the process that you are meant to live as your authentically powerful self. I think what ends up happening for people who live an either or lifestyle, and as you know, if you've been listening to my podcast, I really preach the middle way lifestyle, is that we do both at the same time. Again, not in the same day, but at the same time in our various seasons of life. What I would want, and I'm not saying this is what these women need to do per se, but what I would want for them is to open up possibilities, to use this as an opportunity to say no to all the shit that they've been saying yes to over the years, and then to walk through the doors of possibility on the other side, what really, really matters to them, the work that really matters to them, so that when, not if, they come back and they're able to continue giving back to society in a more structural way, like whether that's through fractional work, consulting, coaching, and mentoring others, working in a traditional leadership format, whatever that might be for them, when they are ready to step into that power again, that they're able to do it on their own terms, that they see what that possibility. And so that gift that this season of their lives is giving them is the opportunity to reinvent, the opportunity to say, okay, what is truly next for me? A lot of people don't know this, but when I lived in New York City, I produced an off-Broadway show called The Funeral Logs. And this was a comedy about funerals. And the point of it was that I took real stories of women and families and people who dealt with extreme tragedy in their lives. And they ended up turning them into a turning point of what's next, right? It opened their eyes to what really mattered, and it showed them how they truly wanted to live their lives. And what I noticed from all of these stories as I was collecting them at the time, that they were truly empowered journeys on the other side. And I think so often when we're approaching our careers in the traditional ladder, like I have to prove myself to get to that next rung of the ladder, and I have to bow down to this boss who I don't even like, and I have to just basically do whatever I'm told. The challenge is that we don't like that lifestyle. We're not actually living in our ultimate power, in our God-given power, in what we were born to create and born to do in this world. Whenever these opportunities come knocking on our door to force us to slow down a little bit, to force us to take a moment and really evaluate and zoom out and say, what matters? Then I'm curious, like, what comes to surface? And even if you're not at this crossroads of something happening in your life that is big in that way, you can think about and ask yourself these questions. What if questions? What if I lost everything tomorrow? And I don't mean for you to cry and hide under a blanket, but so much of this AI era is a what if possibility. Like, we don't even know if the jobs that we're setting our children up to go into, the careers that we're setting our children up to go into, will even exist a decade from now, right? We don't know if the careers that we've been setting up for ourselves, our entire career path, will even exist 5 years from now. So this is an opportunity for everyone to sort of say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm trying to create in this world. This is the impact that I want to make. And I really believe the only way we can make that impact is by zooming out, using my trifecta approach, where we say, okay, we have the spirituality, the thought leadership, the coaching, and the mentoring piece. We have the success ladder. And then we also have the fractional work that we can just start doing today and start helping people. The world is set up that we can do all three things all at once and not exhaust ourselves. In fact, it makes for a more fulfilling life. And I encourage you, as you're listening to this today, to begin to ask yourself what really matters. And before tragedy strikes, right? Before you get laid off, before something happens to you that really stops you dead in your tracks and says, okay, it's time, Stacy, to reevaluate, to course correct, and to move into something else. My prayers and love and so much, I just had to pause for a second and send so much healing energy to these women as they go on this journey of life that was unexpected, but is so available for them to catapult them into this next level of existence, this next level of impact, of real work that they want to be making. And please, 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 I hope so deeply that AI gives us this gift that is being promised of advancements in healthcare, in drug discovery, in self-diagnosis, all of these things. I want this so much for the world. And if AI can give us that, then again, like I said, I can put up with all the slop needed and go back to my trusted sources one-to-one and say, hey, this is what I need to hear today. This is what I need to be doing. And this is who I really, really am. Thank you all so, so much for listening. If you want to go deeper on your own spiritual journey, on your path towards what's next in this world and how we can use both technology and our spiritual practices to create and make a bigger impact, then I encourage you to schedule time with me, to get on my calendar. Go to stacymayer.com/discovery. I can talk to you about the work that we're doing inside of the leadership table and how we're truly a collective of women dedicated to making that bigger impact and to thriving at literally all costs. Thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Before you go, if you have not yet subscribed to this podcast, do so now. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, go there at stacymayer.com/YouTube and subscribe today. And if you know a colleague, a friend, anyone who needs to hear this message, share this information with them now. Post it to your LinkedIn profile. We are navigating this AI era together, and I am thrilled to help you on this journey. If you want to work with me personally, I invite you to schedule a call with me at stacymayer.com/discovery, where we will map out a career strategy specifically tailored to you. Whether you've recently been laid off or you're just looking to navigate this chaotic landscape and you no longer want to do it alone, go to stacymayer.com/discovery and schedule your free call today.